So I gotta ask the question, like, why do we do this to ourselves? An individual, usually a doctor or a psychiatrist or, a psychologist, will diagnose us for having some sort of problem, some sort of learning disability. Yet at the same time, we take their word for it. Well, studies show that when we hear information from someone who is accredited with, accolades and things of that nature, what tends to happen is we tend to accept it a lot more. And we accept it as truth. And because of the way that our minds are set up and because of the way that our minds are shaped, we believe it to be true. Fun fact, I just made that up. But being as though I put in front of their studies have shown, it made it sound more valid, right? And you were more quick to believe it. Now, I'm not saying to just believe, not to, dismiss everything that doctors say. We need doctors. We need psychiatrists. However, to some extent, I don't trust either of them. It's a doctor's job to peddle drugs. And at one point in time, doctors used to, work on people with, carpenter tools. Yes, medicine is more advanced. Um, Studies in psychology are a lot more advanced. But at the same time, they're still trying to figure this stuff out. Don't be fooled into believing that this is true. Right. And everything that they tell you about yourself is true. Because there are things that they're telling you about yourself that are far from true. Now, the reason why I say this is because I was talking with a young lady, young college girl, and she said she mentioned that she had a desire to go into the sciences, but one of her excuses or alibis that she gave herself was that she had learned so many learning disabilities. And it struck me as odd. So I asked the girl, I said, you know, who told you this? She's like, a doctor, like she was diagnosed with learning disabilities. Now, me, the idea of can't is all BS to me. I think if you truly desire to do something, you can do it. But I think that because the idea that she could have a disability with learning was stuck in her head by a doctor, a so-called doctor, that individual hindered her into making her think that she can achieve, and she believes she can achieve, because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks about himself, so is he. And so I look at all of these things, and it makes me wonder about how many other people in this world have accepted things about themselves. You know, Doctors, one thing about doctors, all of them have been proven wrong to some degree throughout history. And the fact that, people still look at their word with more faith than they look at the word of God is mind boggling to me. You have so many people out here who worship the universe. You have people out here who worship the sun, and that's their business. I'll worship the creator. I'm not going to worship the word of a doctor when I have the word of God. Because with man, of course, it's impossible. But with God, all things are possible. If you can believe, all things are possible with him who believes. Like, I say all of these things to say to you that, with so many people out here who claim they understand religion, and as ironic as it is, she studies religion, but that kind of made me wonder, is she studying religion from uh, a use case perspective, or is she just studying it, like, is she studying religion uh as far as like the knowledge and the information that the religion is saying you're supposed to do? Or is she actually like using the religion? What I mean by using the religion, not to, con people out of getting money from people, but using the religion as far as having the word work in her life. meaning, practicing the religion. And I don't mean just practicing it, but she's studying 3 different religions. And I'm listening to her talk. She sounds very educated. She doesn't sound like someone that would have a learning disability, but she does sound like someone who would accept that from a man or a woman. But man is a mankind. She sounds like somebody that would, if someone has a degree from a school tells her that she's not going to be able to ever do this, that she would accept it. And we need to stop putting educated fools from uneducated schools on pedestals. We need to stop allowing society to tell us that this person went to so-and-so university, so you could trust the information that they say. They could have cheated their way throughout the entire process. And even if they didn't, who is to say that the information that they're being taught is accurate? They're being taught to teach in a specific fashion. Schools are. So are, when these people get these degrees in these fields, they're taught that they got to do A, B, C, and then D. They don't think to do anything else because they're going by what they were taught. I love real world. I love the real world because so many individuals go through college, get their degree, and then they come out and they realize they're not actually using their degree to the degree that they thought that they would be. I talked to a guy who was taking accounting, but he was taking it on a doctorate level. And, he was explaining to me the differences between what you learn in accounting and what you learn about actually the practice of it and the differences of it and the differences in that versus, taxes and things of that nature as well. And learning it from the perspective of how to teach it and actually learning it from the perspective of actually using it and the differences of these things. I said, wow, I never knew that. And he broke it down on such an analytical level, I couldn't explain it to you right now. But he made me understand that there was a difference between those two things. I say all this to say to you, my suggestion to you, stop allowing man to tell you that you can't do something. Stop allowing man to tell you that you can't achieve something in life. You trust in your eyes. You look at his degree, his plaque on the wall, and you believe them. Someone tells you that, you're stupid, or someone tells you that you have a disability with learning, it's going to be hard for you to learn. And they plant these negative ideas in your mind. And then when someone comes along to try to tell you that you can do, you can't deal with that. Someone that comes along and tells you that you can do, you dismiss it. You reject it. And then wonder why you can't get anywhere. Like, why do we do that? There has been so many people, including myself, but I'm not focusing on me right now. I'm focusing on you guys. There's so many people throughout history who have told people about their abilities to actually do something on their own. And there are individuals out here that want to tell people why they can't do something. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. People are always associating themselves with people who want to tell them how something cannot be done. Remember, with man it is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Stop believing the lies that people are putting on to you. If you have any other questions, concerns, funny stories, anything you'd like to add, feel free to add in the comments. If you like what I have to say, make sure you hit the like button. If you dislike what I say, make sure you type dislike in the comments. And may everyone have a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good evening.